Hello, this is Yona, the after-school leader at Field Teen Center, here on location to talk to you about some of the books that are coming out in 2022 that I am most excited to read. I have not read these books yet, of course. Many of them will not be out for several months, but this is based on the cover and the description. By the time I read all of these books, we'll see if they end up being my favorites or not, but I'm very excited to get my hands on a couple copies. In no particular order, here we go. Among my list of books I'm excited to read in 2022 is Four for the Road by K.J. Riley. This is a story about four people who are experiencing grief, who go on a road trip together, and they all have a secret. I love road trip stories, and I love stories about grief and death and loss because I'm that kind of weirdo. I'm also very excited about Milo and Marcos and the End of the World by Kevin Christopher Snipes. This is a gay romance between two boys in which the world actually begins to end because of their relationship. Or maybe it's just a coincidence that the world is also ending. But I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling of having a crush that feels so dire your world is ending, and I think it's really fun to look at a story in which that's literally happening. I also love this cover, and I can't wait to see what this one has in store for me. Another one is Sophie and the Bone Song by Adrienne Tully. Again, I love this cover, and I love the setting. I love seeing tough, smart girls confronting magical things with a little bit of a fairy tale twist. So this one sounds right up my alley. I'm excited about Man o' War by Corey McCarthy, in part because I always love a coming-of-age story about a trans kid, but also because I'm a sucker for A.S. King, and she's got a quote on the cover of the book praising it. So I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm doing what mom tells me to do. It sounds to me like it'll be a little bit off the beaten path for a coming-of-age self-discovery story. The Name She Gave Me by Betty Cully is about an adopted girl coming to terms with her birth mother and her adopted parents and her relationship with herself. There's some garlic on the cover because they work on a garlic farm. I'm really into plants, and so I'm really excited about some characters who are going to be very knowledgeable and connected to the world of plants. The cover also reminds me of the cover of Dig by A.S. King, which is one of my favorite books that I read last year. I don't think that they're related at all, but it does make me more inclined to want to read this book. Another one is We Deserve Monuments by Jazz Hammonds. It sounds like it's a story about uncovering the racist history of this town and the friendship between these two girls who come from pretty different backgrounds. Another one on my list is The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. Aiden Thomas has already given this book a positive review because he got early access to it. And I have noticed that he's in the habit of seeking out and reviewing queer YA, and I think he's a little bit less critical as a reader than I am potentially, or maybe our tastes don't align on the same books. So it's not a guarantee that I will like this book, but I'm already really into the concept of a girl being jealous of another girl's apparent confidence and trying to claim it for her own. Another book on my list is This Place Is Still Beautiful by Zizi Fian, which is a story about sibling rivalry and sort of a reckoning about this town's racist past and present, though this time focusing on two Chinese American girls. I don't read enough stories about Asian girls at all, so I'm intrigued by the cover. Yet again, I'm a sucker for a pretty cover, but I'm also really interested to see what these characters are like and how their dynamics play out on the page. Wake the Bones by Elizabeth Kilcoin is another one that is just like a shameless grab at my attention. The title and the cover and the summary are all just like absolutely the things that I'm into. This is a dark fantasy and I am so here for it. I've basically signed myself up to read every dark fantasy book that's set to come out in 2022, and I can't wait to tell you which one is my favorite. Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert is one of few stories on my to-read list for 2022 that is by an author I've already read. She wrote The Hazelwood, which I really enjoyed. I like her narrative style and the way she develops characters, so I feel like I can trust her to tell a good story. And this one is totally separate from The Hazelwood, so I'm excited to see what her new work is like. I honestly don't know much about The Many Half-Lived Lives of Sam Sylvester by Maya McGregor. This is just another one where I like the cover and it makes me want to read the book. I Am the Ghost in Your House by Maria Romasco Moore. It looks like a weird one in the best way. The main character is maybe not literally a ghost, but she is literally invisible. And she and her mother have this nomadic experience going from house to house, and she falls in love with one of the girls who lives in a house that they visit. And she doubles back to try to find this girl and reconnect with her. I'm very ready to see where this one will go. Scout's Honor by Lily Anderson is one of a couple stories about teens fighting monsters that I'm excited to read in the coming year. This one just has this cute, quirky cover, and I love it. The pink is fun. I want to know what this purple slime monster is, so sign me up. Survive the Dome is a debut novel by Kosoko Jackson. It looks like a future dystopian novel, maybe sort of in the vein of Hunger Games, but I think more rooted in real life racial tensions and kind of unpacking and exploring those. And I'm very excited to see what this one's gonna look like. I know there's gonna be a lot of action and fighting, and I think some kind of weird technology. Not totally sure, but I'm ready. Last but not least on my list is What We Harvest by Anne Freistadt. This is another dark fantasy and agricultural, so it's kind of a blend of two of my interests, plants and dark fantasy. It sounds like a story of a small town that is not quite right. There is this poison or disease that's affecting the plants, and some other spooky stuff afoot as well. So those are some of my highlights of what I'm most looking forward to in 2022, but they're by no means the only books I'm trying to read. My list got really, really long, and I was trying to keep it shorter for this video. So here are a few honorable mentions to close us out. I'm also looking forward to The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones, Diamond Park by Philip Diedrich, and Meet Me in Mumbai by Sabrina Khan. I would love to hear if any of these books sound exciting to you as well, or if there are different books that you're most excited to read in 2022, whether they are new books just coming out or books you've been meaning to read for a long time. You can get in touch with us either on Instagram through our DMs, or you can email us. Or of course, you can always visit us in person and check out some of the many wonderful titles on our shelves. We're at 1901 Vine Street. We're open Monday through Friday from 1 to 5. And of course, it's possible that our hours will change in the future, so please keep an eye on our website and our social media for any updates or last-minute closings. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and read something good.